Greetings everyone, welcome back to Blade Bias. Today I have two things from the ever amazing knives. And today I will be doing a video on the admittedly less interesting of the two. I'm going to make you guys wait for that one, particularly because I need to get all the details on that before I make a video about it. But this one is also one that I'm fairly excited for. This is, as you can see, the Bxndxge Stitch V2, now with Kukri blade, and I actually hope, yes, I love it. It is a machined dull blade. I love that. Even though I'm not a huge fan of false live blades, for some reason I adore when live blades just don't get sharpened and they stay as they are off the machine. And look at the blue/blurple on that. That is beautiful. Now, because of the recent wow, that fan's really good. Because of the recent video that I did on the Stitch V2, this is going to be less of a first impressions and more of kind of a video talking about my first impressions on the alternate blade. I will be doing a follow-up on this where I will have more detailed information, hopefully about drops and availability and specs and all of that. This is literally just a take it out of the package, check it out for a little bit, and see how it goes. So let's do just that. The original Stitch V2 was a balisong that I really enjoyed, although I remember thinking that it was something that I was really excited for the Kukri blade to come out, not only because I am a Kukri blade enjoyer, but just because I think that little bit of extra blade weight that is typically associated with Kukris would have made maybe not even it better. I think the Stitch V2 that I checked out with the other blade shape is ultimately, especially with this first little bit of flipping that I've been doing, I think it's definitely the technically superior flipping experience, but this is so much more fun, and I really, really don't care about getting I gotta be honest, I don't care about checking out a technically superior balisong. I care about checking out the fun ones right now. And this is very fun. The original Stitch V1 that had the Kukri blade was also a balisong that I really enjoyed, and one that I think might flip a tiny bit better than this, which is weird because this has thicker handles, so it technically would have more handle bias. I think, unfortunately, I don't have, and I mean, I say unfortunately, but even if I did have these, I probably wouldn't have done anything with them. If I had the weights for the zippy inserts and this wasn't a pass around, this would be the sort of thing that I would take out the spacers and put in a little more blade weight. Sorry, a little more handle weight. I'm finding the blade to be heavy, which normally is fun, but it's like teetering on the edge of the cliff that is tilting into the uncontrollable kind of blade heavy. I notice a little bit of lag starting up. You can kind of see there the blade doesn't want to fully cooperate with me on fans. Once you get the fan going, it fans amazingly, but getting there is a little more difficult than usual because the blade is heavier and you need to put more effort into getting it started, which is not something that I'm super used to. I'm finding the blade to just have a bit too much pull on the flipping experience, but again, it's fun. I like it. I think this, I honestly do think it's the sort of thing that with a few zippy tungsten weights would fix right up into a more specifically neutral balisong rather than a slightly blade biased one, which I would say it sits out right now. But everything else that I loved about the Stitch V2 is here now with a blade shape that I like much more. So while there will be a follow-up video on this when I spend more time with it, when I have all the specs, yada, yada, yada. Also, when I figure out, I probably should take a look and probably ask Bxndxge, excuse me, probably ask Bxndxge how many weights are in here. Because if this is max weights, then that might be a problem, but I don't think it is. Unfortunately, there's really no way to tell in a first impression style video. That dropped right on my toe. That hurt. But yeah, it's fun. Fans and choker fans really well. Carries a ton of momentum there. Little bit of weirdness on the more handle biased rollover based tricks, but nothing that you can't get used to. And it actually sticks very well on the chaplains. I would have expected it, considering how much weight I'm feeling from the blade, I would have expected it to chaplain far worse than it actually does. It chaplains really well. So I think this is going to be the thing where it's like, while I like the looks of it more, I think the flipping of the other blade is technically a little better. But with a little bit of adjustment into those spacers, and with me reminding myself how much these things cost, this could be like a new favorite in its price range for me. This could be like a Slift T replacement. I don't know. I like it a lot. I think we'll see how the follow-up video goes. I actually really like how this flips so far. Whenever, I should say this, when it works, it really works, but there's a few points where it doesn't work as well. So I think a little bit, man, a little bit of fine tuning, a little bit more extra weight in the handles. Again, with the zippy spacers, I'm not saying there needs to be a change in the design. The whole point of these spacers is that you can kind of add and subtract weight as you please. This is a balisong that I really, really enjoy. If I remember correctly, it goes for like $400 to $500. Again, I will have all of that in the follow-up video when Bandage is feeling a little better and can get it to me. But hell yeah, dude. I'm excited to see the Kukri blade make a return. Excited that it flips well. And excited to have another titanium knife in this price point that I really enjoy, that hopefully will be more available. I think, I won't put words in his mouth, but I think that was Bandage's goal that he posted about at some point, but we will see how that goes. Chaplain, I'm kind of astounded by how well it chaplains. Maybe it was just, it does feel a little bit better now that I've gotten used to it, but I know probably the second that I go back, yeah, it's not, yeah. Takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's kind of getting used to that when you go back to a more standard balisong, you start to feel a little more weird on the standard balisong. Because the cheese does feel ever so slightly weirder to flip now. But that's okay. Nothing that a few tungsten balls can't fix. When I say slight, it really is slight. But I think I have rambled on for long enough. Huge thank you to Bandage for sending this thing over. This thing is not mine to keep. Just a pass-around unit that I will be sending on its way shortly. And you guys can look forward to seeing... Whoops, that's why it's in bubble wrap. Seeing what's in this package next time. But until then, thank you all for watching. Thank you to Bandage for sending this knife out. Both of these things out. And I will see you in the next one. Later.